Down syndrome. So what is Down syndrome? Down syndrome is a chromosomal disorder caused when an error in cell division results in an extra 21st chromosome. This is the cause and when it happens. Down syndrome happens when there is an extra copy of genetic material on all or parts of the 21st chromosome. Every cell in the body contains genes that are grouped along chromosomes in the cell's nucleus. There are normally 46 chromosomes in each cell, 23 inherited from mother and 23 from the father. When some or all of a person's cells have an extra full or partial copy of 21st chromosome, the result is Down syndrome, and this is a non-disjunction error. Down syndrome is a chromosomal condition that is associated with intellectual disability, a characteristic facial appearance, and weak muscle tone. All affected individuals experience cognitive delays, but the intellectual disability is usually mild to moderate. People with Down syndrome may have a variety of birth defects. About half of all affected children are born with a heart defect. Digestive abnormalities such as blockage of the intestine are less common. Screening tests includes maternal serum tests, such as the triple screen or quad screen, measure quantities of various substances in the blood. These tests are usually done between 15 and 20 weeks gestation. Newer non-invasive tests have been developed which look for genetic material from the baby in the mother's blood. They can be done earlier in the pregnancy and are more mammograms, usually known as ultrasounds, are usually performed in conjunction with other screenings. These can show some physical traits that are helpful in calculating the risk of Down syndrome. Screening tests do not accurately confirm the diagnosis of Down syndrome. In fact, false positives and false negatives frequently occur. Chorionic villus sampling is conducted between 10 and 12 weeks. In this test, a small piece of chorionic villus will be taken and analyzed. Amniocentesis is performed between 14 and 20 weeks. A small sample of amniotic fluid is drawn and cells in the fluid are tested. Percutaneous umbilical blood sampling is performed after 18 weeks. This test examines blood from umbilical cord. Physical therapy includes activities and exercises that help build motor skills, increase muscle strength, and improve posture and balance. Physical therapy is important especially early in a child's life because physical abilities lay the foundation of other skills. The ability to turn over, crawl, and reach helps infants learn about the world around them and how to interact with it. A physical therapist also can help a child with Down syndrome compensate for physical changes, such as low muscle tone in ways that avoid long-term problems. For example, a physical therapist might help a child establish an efficient walking pattern rather than one that might lead to foot pain. A psychologist, counselor, or other mental health professional can help a child deal with emotions and build coping and interpersonal skills. The change in hormone level that adolescents experience during puberty can cause them to become more aggressive. Behavior therapists can help teenagers recognize their intense emotion and teach them healthy ways to reach a feeling of calmness. Span. With appropriate medical care, most children and adults with Down syndrome can lead healthy lives. The average life expectancy of individuals with Down syndrome is 60 years, with many living into their 60s and 70s. The study investigated mortality and causes of death between 1988 and 1999 in 14,781 persons, 6,702 being female with Down syndrome in California, comparing age, sex, ethnicity, and other factors. Mean age at the start of follow-up was 14 years 8 months. During the study period, 600 people died. The standardized mortality ratio for the population was 5.5. Blacks were at greater risk than whites. Mortality declined during the period, especially for children with congenital heart defects, leukemia, respiratory illnesses, congenital anomalies, and circulatory disease, accounted for the most of the excess mortality. The United States of America. Approximately 367,069 people in the USA suffer from Down syndrome. The USA tops all other countries with 713 deaths from Down syndrome alone. Brazil: 230,126 people have been diagnosed with Down syndrome in Brazil, although the deaths from Down syndrome are much less in Brazil than in the USA. There were 483 deaths reported. Mexico was next with 131,199 people diagnosed with Down syndrome and 429 deaths. Germany: fourth in line is Germany with 103,030 people diagnosed with Down syndrome. There have been 212 deaths accounted for.